The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Welcome back to the show. We're doing some new things here for the new year, so bear with me on this. I've got some things going. We're moving 90 miles an hour. But we did a couple of Q&A questions on Facebook this week, so let's get straight to it. And as usual, I'll always start out with my buddy Alan. You asked me about the signing day period, the new signing day period, the early one. Can't stand it, don't like it. Nick Saban went out on a rant a couple of weeks ago in a press conference about it. I don't like it. He doesn't like it. Said he never hadn't talked to a coach that did like it. It's December. There's too much going on. Bowl games, holidays. I mean, people are preparing for playoffs. I mean, bowl games. It's just too much going on. I don't understand why they thought this would be a good idea. What are the ramifications going to be of this? We'll find out this year. Now you don't really know what's going to happen with this. It's going to affect the February signing day more than anything, and it's just all negative. And I don't see how this is positive to anything except for the smaller schools maybe, because they can put the pressure on these kids to sign with them now while the big dogs are all getting ready for their big games. Anyway, I don't see a positive in this. I think it's all negative. NCAA being the NCAA. I mean, it is what it is. Mike Shaughnessy asked me, Dabo versus Nick, best since the names that came to mind when you asked me that question, and I know this is going to sound weird, but first thing that came to mind was Nick and Les Miles, Saban and Urban Meyer. I can't stand Urban Meyer. Mac Brown against Bob Stoops. Phil Jackson against Pat Riley was one. That was a big deal back in the day. And then, of course, Pete Carroll against Jim Harbaugh when they were not only together in the Pac-12, but they were also NFC West division opponents a couple of years ago for a few of those years. But before Jim Harbaugh moved to Michigan when he was in San Francisco, that was a big deal. But anyway, those are all good coaching rivalries, and I thought they were there. But the Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney rivalry, this is 3 years in a row in the playoffs. I love Dabo. It's not like I don't like him. I have no disrespect. I mean, he's Bama. I mean, he's built by Bama. So I love Dabo. I think Dabo's great. As long as Dabo's winning, I'm happy. And of course, I want Bama to win, but I'm not mad when they win. I cheer for them the whole way through. So, go Dabo. As long as you're not playing Bama. Brings me to my next one. Will I continue to be negative Nancy when Bama beats Clemson and goes to play for the national title? Micah. Here, Micah's my Bam. Okay, Micah, let me talk to you real quick. It's not that I'm being negative Nancy, okay? It's that I don't wear crimson sunglasses like some Bams. I stick to reality. Okay, it's not negative Nancy when you're missing half your defense and you're not playing with passion, which is what happened in the Iron Bowl. We weren't playing with that fire that Auburn was playing with. That's all I was saying on my last podcast, with the negative Nancy crap. I mean, I'm just saying it like it is. Not everything's, crimson colored, rainbow and sunshine and unicorns. I mean, it's just not. I'm calling it what it is. And we played like crap. If you can't see that, then that's your deal. But if we play like that against Clemson, yeah, we will lose. In fact, Clemson's a better team going in, dude. They're ranked number 1. We're ranked number 4. So if for Bams to go into this thinking, well, we got this, then you're all stupid. We should be the underdogs coming in. They're ranked number 1. We're ranked number 4. Leave it at that. Go into it and actually be humble. This is what's wrong with y'all. I mean, stop. We have struggled, I mean, we have not looked good. Yeah, we got some of our wins there late, but you know as well as I do, whether you're going to say it out loud or not, we ain't look great. Jalen's got some issues. Ever since the Tennessee game, I don't know what's happened. We've got some issues we got to get fixed before Clemson. And I'm hoping and I'm confident they'll get it done. Do I think we'll beat Clemson? Probably. But we could probably also lose. I'm just going into it with an open mind. I'm going into it thinking there is a possibility we will lose this game. I'm not going in going, we're going to win like the rest of you Bams. That's stupid. Now, if we win, I'm pumping my fists and I'm yelling Roll Tide all day long. But I'm mentally preparing myself for a loss. Clemson's a good team. Respect. Respect Clemson. Because we didn't respect Auburn, and you saw what happened. Right? Right. Moving on. Charlie Frankenstein is a stud or a dud this week in fantasy coming back after suspension. Charlie, you're going to be playing against me in your championship game in your league, and you have Zeke. So what do you want me to say? Do you want me to say he's going to be a dud? Do you want me to say he's going to be a stud? I feel like this is a trick question. Play him, because I would rather would have beat you full strength. Don't bench him. So I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and call him a stud for the sake of calling him a stud. So you'll play him against me this week, and I can beat you in your championship game. But outside of that, I could care less. Dallas has got to play Seattle this week, and I think that game's in Dallas. Yeah, it's in Dallas, and it's funny, Dallas got everybody good at home, and they say our schedule's weak or whatever. We play Seattle in Seattle. We play the Rams in LA. We played everybody on the road. They have played everybody at home. Anyway, I'm getting off that subject. I'm not staying on that. Just play Zeke. He's a stud this week, just so I can beat you at full strength, and you don't have any excuses when the week's over, and I win your league. Then we're going to move on to Anthony Grice. Anthony, with Wentz out, how far will the Eagles go? Look, man, I was a huge Nick Foles fan when he bolted and Chip sent him off to St. Louis. I was pissed. I was not happy. I was a Nick Foles guy when he was in Philly originally. So I was super stoked when we brought him back. I take out everything that ever happened with him in St. Louis under Fisher, because Fisher is a quarterback killer. He is a terrible quarterback's coach. He sucks, and you can see that now. Look at Goff now compared to when Fisher had him. Fisher's just not. He cannot produce quarterbacks to save his life. He's awful. So I take out everything that happened with Nick Foles when he left us, and I only pay attention to what he did in Philly, and he was successful in Philly. I never understood why Chip sent him off. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I'm guessing it had to do with injury, but, I mean, whatever. He thought Sam Bradford was better. I didn't, and I think that's proven. Sam Bradford was garbage. He always has been. He always will be. But how far do I think we can go? I think we can get to the Super Bowl. I'm just not sure about winning it. The AFC is tough this year. I like the AFC a lot. New England has had its struggles, but they're still New England. Pittsburgh has its struggles as well. I don't like Pittsburgh's defense. I think their defense is severely overrated, but their offense is amazing when all is good. Antonio Brown had an injury this past week, so we'll see what happens with that. I think those two teams, New England and Pittsburgh, are the top of the crop. They both have weaknesses. They both can be beaten. Can the Eagles win the Super Bowl? It's just going to take one hell of a game from our defense. I don't think Nick Foles really has to do anything but be Nick Foles. I think our defense is what is going to ultimately determine what happens with us this year. I think Nick Foles is good enough to win a Super Bowl. He's just not good enough to do it alone. He's going to need. That's the thing about this Eagles team versus any other Eagles team I've ever seen in my life. I always take this back to the McNabb days. When McNabb was here, it was McNabb against everybody else. We had Jim Johnson coordinating on defense, and he ran it with Dawkins and those guys, and Trotter and Hugh Douglas, and the list goes on. I mean, those guys were just terrific, and we didn't have a weakness on our defense that I can remember. I mean, it was just brutal. But McNabb really had no receivers, and when he got one, we went to the Super Bowl. But hey, look, Carson Wentz, in my opinion, has already shown me he's going to be better than McNabb. As much as I love McNabb, I think Wentz is going to end up, his career will end up being better. So, I mean, I'm optimistic about my team. But that's the difference. I got off on a rant there, but the Eagles are a much better team now than they were back then, is what I'm getting at. So I'm super stoked about where we are as a team. I think that we can we have so much depth. That's something that we have now we didn't have back in the McNabb years, was depth. When somebody got hurt, we were in a hole at just about every single position. Now, I mean, we have Howie Roseman has done such an amazing job this season, past off season. It's just been a phenomenal off season covering all these positions and all these spots, and they've just done a really good job. So I am optimistic, and I do think the sky's the limit, even with Nick Foles. But like I said, it all comes down to the defense. Fantasy team, it looks like Travis and Mark are headed to the championship game in my big league and the Lost Tribe of Alabama and LTA. I like both of these teams. I hate picking one because I think if I pick one, the other one's going to win. They're both really good. Travis probably has the upper hand going in. Mark has struggled. Mark kind of came in crippled to the playoffs, but Lord knows he put over 200 points on me this week in the second round. So anything's capable. I think it all with that game, it's all going to come down. One's got. This is the true end all be all to that game. Travis and the Mobile Bay Soldiers have Todd Gurley. Mark and the Bombers have Kareem Hunt. There you have it. I mean, whichever one of those has their day, then they're going to win. Because, I mean, that's what's been happening with those two teams all year long. Anytime one of them blows up, they get a win. And when they falter, they lose. Or they struggle and somebody else has to pick up the pieces. So, I mean, that's been the story of Travis and Mark all year long. Those are their guys. They do have a couple other players on their team. Travis is actually, that's why I put Travis as a head. Travis has better depth on his roster than Mark does. You know, he's got, without even looking at it, I know he has Melvin Gordon there. Travis has other pieces that he can lean on, whereas Mark, Kareem Hunt, when Kareem Hunt has been on, he has been enough to take Mark over the threshold and get him some wins. So, like I said, going into this thing, I think Travis has the upper hand. But, you know, there is a new stipulation now. Let's all keep this in mind. In this league, whoever wins this league determines the draft order for next year. I'll give whoever wins this, I will get with y'all right after the game is over when I hand you your trophy and your cash and let you know. I will, because I'm going to come up with a date. You're going to have to give me the lineup, and I will not be able to be once you turn that list into me 1 through 10. Then that's a wrap. You're done. You don't get to get it back and change it again. That's it. So once that deadline hits, you give me the 10 in that order, and that's going to be the draft order. We're not changing it after that. It's probably going to be around August 1st is what I'm aiming for. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. We'll do Q&A again soon. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to touch base on. See, I talked about the Eagles, talked a little bit about Bama. I am excited about the playoff games. I am excited about bowl season being here. I am excited that we are finishing up fantasy football season. I am currently I'm in 2 championships games this year. I will not be three-peating in the faction. I was knocked out last week. That's going to come down to Burt and Winston. Congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to Travis and Mark, if I didn't say it already. In the championship game of the other 2 leagues I was in, I got Charlie in one, and I got Ben in another one. And those 2 teams are stacked. So this will not be an easy one. If I had to pick one, I want Ben. Last year I came in, I don't think I was last place. I think Joe was last place, but I think I finished 8th or 9th. I was down at the bottom, And I told Sam at the beginning of the year, I was coming in, I was all in on this league, and I wanted to finish well. So to make the championship game, I finished the season with a 6-7 record, but my points for were so much, and my points against were so much. I was going up against the high score like every week. So I feel like I came in, talk about coming into the playoffs, on your knees crawling. I was doing it. So was Ben, though, because Ben came in. He's the 5th seed, I was the 6th seed, and we both made it to the championship game. So, but both of our teams are stacked. He's stacked, and I look forward to that game. That game's going to be huge. And on the flip side, Charlie's team is stacked too. That championship game is going to be good, but there's really nothing on the line there. It's just bragging rights. I just want to beat Charlie. Charlie's probably going to be coming in to one of my leagues next year, so I kind of want to get that win over him before he gets here, show him who the man is. I don't know when I'll be back. I'm not feeling real well. You can probably hear it in my voice. Probably shouldn't have done this today, but I really wanted to get this out. We did the Q&A. I always like doing Q&A with you guys, and it's always fun to do. We'll do it again soon, and if I don't see y'all again, y'all have a Merry Christmas, have a safe New Year, and we'll see you in 18. God bless.
Leave the comments down below if you like this video. Bye!